Hello and welcome back to OCD Coded. I am Erin Brown and your OCD coding guide. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and mental health counselor. I specialize in EMDR and trauma and also with couples works and relationships. And I only found out a few years ago that I had OCD myself, and I really hope to be able to help you to be able to notice if you have OCD and then how to turn it into a superpower and not something that you feel like gets in the way of your life or that, that there's anything wrong with you. So that's our main goal here today. And talking about specifically about memory hoarding. And so it's the idea of hoarding memories, like wanting to store them all up. And I had no idea what this was. And when I was first starting to become curious if I had OCD, I read a testimonial about someone who had this, and I just burst into tears. I had never realized was doing it because it's such an internal compulsion, and that's what can make OCD so hard too, is because the obsession is usually very internal and the fear. But that the compulsion can be internal too. And that makes it so difficult to identify. And a lot of times, things that are OCD can also, like lots of people experience it to a degree, but with OCD, they cannot stop. That starting and stopping are some of the hardest things for OCD. And so being able to identify when we're doing that. And so with memory hoarding, people will say it all the time. Like, I woke up at 3 a.m. thinking about the thing I did in third grade that was so embarrassing, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And so I'll be like, okay, yeah. But then realizing that I was doing that for hours and days, that I was spending so much of my time, like pretty much any time that wasn't occupied by another thought of what I was having to do in that moment was replaying past memories and trying to make them right is kind of the idea of it. Like, did I say it this way or did I not? Should I have said it this way? Should I have not? If I had said it this way, would this have happened or would it not? Just going back and forth and trying to replay the memory again and again. And the idea is we think we're learning something from it, or trying to learn how to figure out what we did wrong to correct it for next time or fix this mistake. But it's just, it never stops. That merry-go-round never stops of, could I have done it this way? Could I have not? It's all the maybe, maybe not of OCD. And it's just really exhausting. And it's wanting to feel, wanting to learn something. And it comes from this such good place, but it then spirals into this just paralyzing force where just going over memories and just, obsessing about the memories and then compulsively replaying them over and over and over again. And so I, hope to help you learn how to do this. And this is such a good example of one of the types of OCD, but that how all the types are really connected in so many ways about like a feeling that something's not right. And I'm going to keep doing this thing. I'm going to obsess about the feeling that's not right and then do this thing, this compulsion to try to decrease the distress of the unknown and make it feel right. And that's what's so hard with OCD is if, it never tends to feel better no matter how much we do it, no matter how much I replay that memory, I don't feel better. It doesn't come this moment where I'm like, okay, yes, I have learned and I can, carry on. It's just a cycle. And I had even heard about how dopamine, which is, we know, one of those reward kind of simulating like neuro chemicals, and that that it's kind of that's dopamine seeking is a lot of what people are doing with wanting kind of like a short-term reward, and that with this, like, that worrying can give you dopamine because your brain thinks it's accomplishing something by worrying, but really you're just replaying it again and again. And so again, it kind of sounds like something that most people do, but with OCD it is debilitating. And but it's so internal and it can feel so shameful. Or when I try to explain it to someone else, they're just like, oh, just get over it, or oh, just stop thinking about it. And it's like, okay, if it were that easy, sure, I would just stop it. And there's a great Bob Newhart skit from way back in the day, but we're about called Just Stop It, I'm pretty sure. And it sums it up a lot about like, okay, yes, if it were just that easy, but also that is what you're kind of just practicing. And that is one of those really, I found really annoying in the beginning kind of contradictions about, well, that yes, I mean, the goal is to help to realize that I've been trying the same thing again and again, and it hasn't been working. That if it's working, keep doing it, and if it's not, then stop. And how I can gently find myself doing that. That can I admit that I've been trying to blame and shame or do whatever thing for so long and that it hasn't worked. So maybe let's try something else, but without doing that in a blame and shame way, and more of an encouraging way. And that can be so difficult to do, but that with any kind of compulsion and with memory hoarding, with any kind of internal thing, one of the ways that I identify it is by that urgent feeling. It's like, if I don't do something right now, something bad is going to happen. And then if I'm feeling that, I kind of try to again gently assess, am I in an urgent situation right now? And if not, can I take that moment to, kind of recognize that that's probably part of my OCD, and that I can do it a couple times. I can go around that merry-go-round a couple times of the should I not? But can I notice sooner when I'm on that merry-go-round and just gently get off sooner? And no matter how many times I find myself on that, can I just begin again and step off and try to focus on the real purpose of what I'm trying to do, or the real connection, and with myself and with others, and that finding the ways that I know that I'm trying to be better at connecting or trying to do things better, but that by being in my head, that is not going to help at some point. Like, it's a balance. We want to be in our head and assess, but can we assess without judgment? And can I assess without obsessing is a big thing that I try to practice. And so I hope that was a helpful overview of starting to understand some of the types of OCD and what to do about it. You can check out my website at ocdcoded.learnworlds with an S at the end.com for the course and more ideas about how to take this even further if you want to know more about how to apply it to your own life. And I'll begin some kind of study group question and answer sessions that we're doing. And so let me know if you have any questions or any other way that I can help you learn how to do this for yourself more and personalize it just for you. And I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you.